never gonna let we cannot falter in the battle. We're tried and true. Indiana, we're all.
Well, welcome everybody to the Indiana Basketball Show on the Grueling True Sports Network. I'm your co-host, Mike Goodpaster. Right now, I want to welcome in my other co-host, 1981 national champion, Steve Risley. How you doing, Steve?
How can I be your other co-host? Why
Well,
wouldn't I just be the co-host?
It doesn't matter, Steve. Just I ask you a question.
It does matter, Mike. It does matter.
I said the wrong thing, Steve. Like, I know you.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Is Mike, used to get mad.
Is Mike Goodpaster admitting he said something wrong?
It took 10 years, Steve, but yes.
Wow. This is a day that will live in infamy.
Well, and it may be, as the Indiana Hoosiers have signed for the transfer portal, one of the top guards in the country, Lamar Wilkerson, shoots 44% from three-point range. And the great thing about this, he only made 2 visits. He went to Indiana over the weekend, and I think he might have been here Saturday and Sunday. He went to Kentucky yesterday. Then he canceled the visits to Auburn and Ole Miss. And every Kentucky fan last night was going insane. Sea of Blue, one of the Kentucky websites, was talking about how they had a Final Four team now with Wilkerson. And then today, it's fun to get on the Sea of Blue and you see the headline, "What happened? Wilkerson commits to Indiana." So that makes it even better.
You know the difference? Kentucky fans are sitting over there thinking, we got a Final Four team. I'm thinking we got a team that can actually make the freaking tournament now.
Yeah, it's only happened like 8 times since 2008. But
okay.
But the good thing about me and you both, we still live in the 70s and 80s, so we're ready to go to the Final Four right now.
No,
Steve.
I wish I didn't with the nil money.
Oh, Steve.
I know.
You'd only got like $500,000, no.
Yeah, that's $500,000 more than I got, and I would not have bitched about it.
All right, so we're going to pull up some film on Lamar Wilkerson. We'll talk about Lamar a little bit. I think this is huge. I mean,
let's go over his stats a little bit.
We'll do all that while we let everybody watch the film, because I know there was a few that like.
Man, we have a lot of fans that can't multitask, Mike. Why don't we do one of these?
No, Steve, we have you who can't multitask, and that's what you're worried about right now.
Okay.
All right, so the big thing here, you see, Steve, he's 6'5", 205 pounds. He only has 1 season of eligibility left, but that's the world we live in now. He played in 32 games last season. He averaged 20.
Started all 32.
He averaged 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal in 34.5 minutes a game. He shot 44.5% from three-point range. You put him with DeVries' 47. Maybe our 3-point issues will go away now. And, he shot, I think it was like 3 or 4 3-pointers a game. He shot 82% from the free throw line. He was a Conference USA star, was first team all Conference USA. His career high was 32 against New Mexico State on March the 8th. He was 7 for 10 on threes in a 76-69 win there. And we know he can play because we saw him put up 18 against the Hoosiers when IU beat Sam Houston. What was that, like 100-71 or something, or 97-71, something in that range, where he had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And I think the best thing about this here is I think he fits into what you're seeing. You have a point guard who was 16th in assist ratio. Now you're giving him a shooting guard next to him in Wilkerson, who shoots 44% from three-point range and averaged 20 points. You got DeVries, assuming he does commit, who shot 47% from three-point range. You've got Bailey, who shot 40% from three-point range, who's 6'10". This team's starting to round into shape a little bit when you look at a roster here, Steve.
Yeah, no doubt. And what I really like is he's building a roster that stays within the philosophies we talked about when I did the conference call with him about wanting to push the ball up court, do a controlled break every time, run hard, push it hard, and then get into a what he called a unconstructed motion offense. Now you really setting it up. One more big, really, with the 6'10" kid we got coming in. What was his name?
Reed Bailey. The kid
Reed Bailey.
Harvard. Yeah.
I mean, now we're looking for mobile big men. I think I'm not sure I want a another Ballo type player. I don't want somebody clogging the middle up for this team right now. I want somebody who can penetrate, who can play up top, who can set a screen, who can get the ball and roll, go hard to the hole, and then who can dish a little bit, because we got perimeter shooters out the yin yang now, and this just opens up Indiana's offensive threat. I tell you what, DeVries may be screwing up and actually getting fans to have legitimate concerns or expectations.
Well, let's face it, we're all going to have not legitimate expectations anyways. All hell no says let's go. Robert says hello from Vero, or yo from Vero. David Kirk says hi all. David Kirk says CDD is building a solid core. Brian Wetters has a question. He says, does the slow pace in the NIL transfer pace concern anyone?
No.
I don't think this has been that slow of a pace, really.
No, I think the quality of players we got is more important than the quantity of players we're getting right now. I mean, we're getting quality players that we haven't seen fill an Indiana roster top to bottom. It seems to me, watching Wilkerson play here, he, like everybody else that we've gotten so far and seen, he plays hard. I mean, yes. he plays defense. He gets after it. He doesn't stand around and just try and score points. He pushes the ball up and down the court. He takes penetration dribbles.
He creates his own shots.
His own shots, which, that's something. And I think that the coach's son does that as well. Yes. Creates his own shots. So you do that, and that frees other players up to get into position and to be in position for rebounds. And not have to waste time setting screens and just follow a scorer around as we did maybe Aka Alford, who basically was ineffective without somebody setting him a screen for the most part. So I think he's a good fit. He's a great fit. He's a great get, because I think you said he was maybe one of the top 3 players eligible out there at this point.
Well, all I know is this, Steve. I mean, his final 4, I think, were us,
Kentucky, Indiana, Auburn,
and Ole Miss.
All 4, well, Indiana, Kentucky are basketball blue bloods. Auburn is certainly a dominant team right now.
They could probably qualify off of the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, well, I think
they're still not Indiana.
For your blood to get blue, you need to be on top.
Of course, really, to this
I'm not going to argue that point.
To this kid, probably Auburn's more of a blue blood than Indiana. Yeah. So
anyway, they're 4 top basketball programs right now, and we got him. And I think that speaks highly to the coaching selection. Kudos again to Scott Dawson. Grabbing a great football coach from the mid-majors, really, and now grabbing, a great basketball coach. And really, this program of Indiana sports is going to be up and coming real quick. And I do not think it's a slow pace at all, Brian. I like the quality of player we're getting, and I'll go slower if that means that. We got, what do we have? How many we have on roster now? 6 or 7?
5 or 6. But
okay,
I mean,
we still don't know about Goody, right? We still have not heard an answer.
Well, we don't know about Goody or DeVries. They both have to both be approved by the NCAA. I think they both will be. I would say this. I think the other big deal is the transfer portal is probably twice the size it was last year. There's a lot of players in there.
Yeah.
And if you just go willy-nilly just signing guys, you're not really trying to build a team. There's enough guys here that right now, with Wilkerson, DeVries, and Bailey, now you just got to put pieces around them to build a team.
Well, let me ask you this, Mike, just to play devil's advocate. What if one of our last year's players want to come back all of a sudden?
No. I mean, number one.
Do we say no to Mbako?
Yes. Why would you say yes? You've already got 3 guys that are better shooters than him.
I'll take Mbako on the bench.
I will not. Why would you want to take somebody on the bench that's going to go to Taco Bell, cause an issue as soon as he gets someplace? Why would you want anybody that was involved with the culture of last year's team?
I think you have a different coach. You have a coach who's disciplinarian.
Yeah, so why would he want a guy that can't be coached?
I think that if he was allowed back on this team, I think Mbako would understand. I think the pace of play and the effort put forward by the kids that have portaled into this program would make Mbako play harder. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's a what-if question. Anybody got any feedback for Mike or I on what if an Mbako, Balo's a senior. He's gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's gone. And then Renew already committed to Miami, didn't he?
Yeah, Renew would destroy this team anyways. With
Renew committed to Miami, didn't he?
Yes, because he wanted money. He obviously didn't go to win and get money.
Yeah. Okay. So really, Mbako's really the only real choice. Although I heard that Galloway's looking for an 8th year of eligibility.
He's going to go play at Marion for Pat Knight, I believe. Then he can average 20 a game.
Does Luke Goody fit into this?
I think he can. With what you would want off of the bench. It's just according to whether Coach DeVries wants to bring him back or not. All hell knows is I'd take Tucker back. I would say this. I think Tucker could be decent. I don't think we ever saw what he could do last year. I think he didn't get the playing time to show that. I would consider it, but really when I watched him play, I don't think that he fits here. I mean, the way he plays the game, I don't think it fits. I think you need – I mean, everybody's freaking out, but you've got like 3 studs you've brought in. You got Sisley, who we don't know how good he is yet. You know, you try to find another stud at the 5, but the stud at the 5 to me is a 6'10", 6'11", even 7-foot guy that can move, though.
Right. Yeah.
We can get out and defend it. We don't need anybody to slow.
We don't need a Ballo. We do not need a Ballo.
No, and the history of DeVries is that he's not going to go get a guy like Ballo.
Good. What about this kid that we've offered a scholarship to, but he has not committed yet?
Oh, no, you have to say his name or I will not even discuss it. Because it's fun when you try to say his name.
Let me get it. I got to pull it up. I got to look at it. Not Elijah Freeman. Ante Brezovic.
Yeah, Ante Brezovic.
6'10" forward out of Charleston. 18 points, 8.1 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1 block shot, 32 minutes a game, got a lot of minutes, shot 54% from the field, 32% on threes, which for kids, 6'10", I'll take that. That means you got to respect him. He needs a waiver to play. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if he's
that means he has to win a lawsuit against the NCAA because he is out of eligibility. I don't know what his complaint is, why the eligibility is there. I don't know if there is. I don't know what's going to happen.
Come on. The kids from Croatia, every good basketball team needs an Eastern European.
Not really, because they're usually soft. But they softened the game up for the Eastern Europeans to dominate.
Tell that to the kid. What's the kid's name playing for the Lakers now? The big 77 guy?
He's definitely soft.
What's his name?
He doesn't play defense, Steve. He's soft.
He scores 50 points a game.
He would not if people played defense like they did in the 1980s or 1990s.
What about the big kid for Denver? What's his name?
Well, Jokic, same thing. He didn't really play defense, Steve. I don't think we're calling him tough, but they're elite offensive players. The guy that's interesting to me is the Emeka Purum from Butler Community College. He's a 7-foot center. He was 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 block shots in 22 minutes per game. He only shot 67% from the free throw line, but 53% from the field. He was the defensive player of the year in his junior college league. I think he may be the guy you could put in the middle to be the stopper on defense. I think that would be one. We got some comments. It says it's too late to teach defense to Mac because
I don't believe that. I disagree.
Oh yeah, no, it's true because defense is about not being lazy, and he's lazy as hell, Steve. You can't change that. He just is, and he cries and whines if somebody gets on him. David Kirk says Goody could be solid off the bench. He can never have too much shooting.
Right. I like Goody. Yeah, we don't need another Ballo.
Robert, we're in the transfer portal, and we'll know who our big guy is probably in the next week or two.
Well, let me ask you this:
do we need a big guy?
We fell out with 1 or 2 more portal guys, Mike. Okay, and now we've got a roster. What right now? What's our roster sit at right now?
What do we got? Like 5, 6.
5. Okay, we pick up 2 more portal players
that are studs.
What I don't understand.
All right,
now really, you want a 7-man rotation? Really, was what you want?
Yeah, but you want to have 9 or 10 guys.
You want to have depth. I get it. But let me ask you this: do we now add to Sisley and go after some freshmen, true freshmen?
That's what I was going to say because there are still a lot of guys.
Are we thinking alike, Mike?
I don't want to say that because then I
come on. Say it. We're thinking alike.
We're thinking alike there.
I like it.
Damn. I had to admit I was.
We're both excited about Hoosier basketball this year.
But
Not Dockage crying one day and loving it the next day.
he's an asshole.
Somebody tell me why Dockage hangs his jersey on a thing and acts like he's a beloved IU.
Because if you just watch, you don't think he was ever athletic. So he puts the jersey there to prove it. All right, Brian.
I like Dan, okay, but
nobody
that guy bashes Dan. IU more than anybody I know.
Well, that's how he gets people.
And hangs his jersey, wears his IU T-shirt. Get off of it. Come on.
All right, Brian Wetter says, any word on Goody's request for an NCAA waiver? We have not heard anything. All hell no says we don't need another Ballo. David Kirk says, Dylan Darling looks good too. Jeffrey Wang says, go Hoosiers, rooting for Lamar 100%. David Kirk says, wouldn't we have years of eligibility with Oprah? Yeah, because remember this also, they changed the rules so JUCO eligibility doesn't count. He would have 3 years eligibility remaining because he was at Butler Community for 1 year. They didn't have the rule in effect yet that JUCO eligibility didn't count, but you've still got 3 years with him. J. Diesel says, not knowing Luka or Jokic's name is insanity. That would be Steve. But Steve's bad with names because he's like 93 years old. Give him a break.
I'm not 93. I'm 66. I like Brian's. And I kind of agree with Brian here a little bit when he talks about surprised we've not heard too many West Virginia transfers.
No, because of the way he left. It pissed them all off. The only one that's coming is him. His son. Yeah.
So you're telling me you would rather languish at West Virginia and look at Jerry West's jersey all day long, or
I would
come
say
to
this,
Indiana, Steve, and where the nil money's rich, the Jets are nice, and
you don't think the nil money's
the training facilities are sweet?
Yeah, so is West Virginia. Virginia, wait a second, Steve. West Virginia has made a lot more Sweet 16s, NCAA tournaments, and Final Fours in the last quarter of a century than we have. We need a backup point in case of injuries, 2 to 3 more guards and a couple bigs, Jeffrey Wang says, or a starting point guard. David Kirk says Darling is a point guard. Yes, he is.
That's what we want. Our guard situation's filled out.
What's this? Michael Bradley, douchebag, not watching again. IU on IU crime is not okay, bitch. That actually, Michael, I would say for reading that, the only bitch here would probably be you.
What's he saying?
He said that since we argue with each other, that IU on IU crime is not okay, bitch. He's a bitch. So don't worry.
What's he talking about? Define that for me.
I don't know. Maybe he could explain it to us if he's coherent.
Hey, Mike, what are you pissed off about? What are we doing wrong?
Jeffrey Wang.
How are we not pleasing you, Michael Bradley?
Why are we giving so much time to this right now? You can either explain it or not. David Kirk says Operum could be a backup. He's a project. We'll see. Jeffrey Wang, couple of freshmen. This is the thing, David. He's got 3 years. So if he's a guy that you think could develop in next year, after this year to next year, he's a stud. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, Brian says Michigan has made some good ground via transfer. Well, they're going to. They got Dusty May. We're not even going to go into that.
They got it. They're going to be the big team to beat in the Big Ten the next few years.
Purdue's going to be good.
Purdue's going to be good. Purdue, Indiana, and Michigan are going to be the teams to beat next 3 years.
Probably
3 or 4 years. Okay, I really like the fact of right now, just because I'm a 4-year player, I'd love to see him go after.
Oh, here we go. Michael Bradley.
Dockage, stupid.
Well, Dockage is a bitch, though, and he bashes IU continuously.
Yeah, well, and I like hey, Michael. I like Dan. I mean, it's just okay to bitch about the way he portrays IU. It doesn't mean I don't like Dan. He's got a great wife. Like Dan. His wife is very nice, a sweetheart. Got a great family. I've known his family for a long time. My son played with his son in AAU ball. Nothing wrong with Dan Dockage. Just don't like somebody who just bashes all over IU.
Yeah.
One day, then gets up the next day and
acts like he's an IU fan.
Acts like he's an IU fan. That's all. Be committed to what you're doing. Take the lumps. We've taken lumps here. We've tried not to bash Mike as much as I did. I can't know if I can speak for my partner.
I held off the first year.
But anyway, okay, Mike, I've given you my due.
David
thank you
Kirk
for your feedback. That's all I can say to you.
Right?
I would really, at this point, like to see Indiana go get a couple more. If nothing else, to make Sicily feel welcome, and he's got his own little pod to work with a freshman. I know how important it was, like Ray and Phil and Gunny and Kirsch and I were all close because that was our class. Grunwald, Kirshner, Ray, myself. We were tight. We were tight as we could be, and as a class, and that was good. So I would not mind seeing IU if we can go find a couple freshmen and see if we can develop them. Good chance we're going to lose them because their playing time is going to be not like it was when I was a freshman. So,
Michael said that he doesn't bash IU. He tells the truth while supporting IU.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, that's your opinion. That's fine.
No, it's your opinion, Mike. That's okay. The way he tells the truth, I call it bashing. And the way you see it is telling the truth is he's just telling the truth. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, I don't have a real beef against Dan Dockage. I really don't.
All right.
I'm not crazy about him doing politics on sports shows, but that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh, hell no. I think this is correct, too. I think Wilkerson will grease the wheels for more great players.
There's no doubt there. I thought that the minute we found out he was coming. I thought, oh, man, our portal just got bigger. Let's see what happens now,
All right. Loki Jones says, wish we could get Braylon Mullins to change his mind. He's one I really wanted. Jeffrey Wang says, we get Mullins, this team will be top level next year. David Kirk, as much as I'd like to get Mullins, I don't see it happen. I don't either. He's at UConn. There's not many better places to be right now.
No, right now there's not. No.
Jeffrey Wang says, my issue with Dockage is he swears too much. Not attractive. I can see that.
Oh, bullshit.
I can. Well, how often do I cuss on this show?
Fucking never.
You just cussed right then, Stephen.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey. We're just funning with you now.
Yeah.
We don't take the Lord. We do. I am not allowed to take the Lord's name in vain, gosh darn it.
Yeah, but you still do occasionally and didn't have to apologize.
Gosh darn it, not anymore. Dag nabbit.
All right. Hey,
you know what I did Sunday night for about the 40th time of my life?
David Kirk asked what happened with that kid Freeman. Are you talking about Owen Freeman from Iowa?
No, I watched the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, again. You should read them.
Oh, that touche. Well played.
Yeah. Jeffrey liked that, but it's true. I mean, a movie can be changed, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like
that. I didn't even have a comeback back for that because it's like I probably should read the 10 Commandments.
All right, Michael Bradley says he swears too much. Do words hurt you? And then he says Pussy.
Pussy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
See, this is the thing right here, Michael. That tells me that you're a dude that watches Dan Dockage and loves him. All right.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, it's not. I mean, this is kind of why we don't like him.
I don't care.
I don't think it's all right for Michael to say that to Jeffrey, who just had an opinion, because this is the thing. We try not to. Every once in a while we get mad. There'll be a cuss word. But there could be an 8-year-old girl or a 9-year-old boy watching this. So why do you want to say stuff like that?
Hey, I got my 2 Aussie Shepherds right at my feet right now. They don't like swear words.
No. Here,
I got Enzo.
Jeffrey Wang says, could care less about people who judge others. So, Elijah Freeman, what about him? Tell us all about him, Michael. What did Dan Dockage tell you about him?
Come on, get off the Dan Dockage thing.
Well, I can't because Michael's still here.
Let it go. Let it go, Mike.
Oh, no, I was just looking at something. I like dumbasses. It's all right.
I agree with you, Jeffrey. Oh, that's Michael. No. Let's get off this, guys. Let's get back to basketball.
Says, Michael, you just heard
we had a great day today. We got one of the top prospects. When's the last time Indiana has nailed a top prospect?
This is something I did forget about. UConn signed a player at the same position as Mullins. Still unlikely, but that might piss him off enough to hear other offers, especially IU.
The only thing that's going to piss him off is a decline in his bank account at this point. Because if you go to UConn right now, there's a 40% chance you're going to the Final Four.
Yeah, Elijah Freeman.
When I look at the guy sitting up there doing the broadcast, Clark and Chuck and Kenny and all those guys, not one of those pricks has a championship ring. Not one of them.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't think any of them even been to the Final Four.
Elijah Freeman is the D2 player, Steve, from Lincoln Memorial that we talked about that still had 3 years remaining. And the only updates I have heard is that he completed a visit to Auburn, and that was this last weekend. I don't know where else he's going to go. I know IU has interest in him. I think most of the teams, I mean, there's NBA teams that have interest in the kid also. He's that good. But, Jeffrey Wang says if Hurley leaves UConn for the NBA, Mullins may transfer, is what I heard. Why would Hurley leave UConn for the NBA, though? I know maybe they can pay him more money, but
you know how right Knight was when he said he'd never coach in the NBA because you're not really coaching there. I agree wholeheartedly.
There's been guys that have coached there, guys like Chuck Daly that actually could coach there, but there's nowadays it's even worse.
I mean, really, was Daly a good organizer, babysitter? I mean, how do you tell
Daly
Isaiah, the Bruce brothers?
Yeah, because they actually did what he said. And the thing about it is there's a reason why he was named the head coach of the Dream Team. And I saw an interview where Charles Barkley said he was one of the few coaches that everybody would have liked.
Right.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, Elijah Freeman, he's a D2 player. We'll see what happens with him. If we get Berzovic, that's a 6'10" forward. I don't know how big he is. It's not, stats aren't telling me how broad he is. It just says he's 6'10". So,
all right.
I want some beef. I want some beef right now.
Michael Bradley says, were you vaginas offended by Coach RMK2? And if an 8-year-old hears it, it wouldn't be any different to word. Well, my 8-year-olds, when I had 8-year-olds at home, and I do now because my grandkids are here, do not hear it. I'm sorry. I don't know what goes on in your house, Michael, but yeah, I don't run around screaming profanities in front of my kids. David Kirk says, Phil Jackson ran a good system to Triangle. That was really Tex Winters, though. Tex Winters was the one who brought that to Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson didn't have that offense without Tex Winters. He took Tex Winters with him to the Lakers also. I think that Phil Jackson was great at getting players to buy in, but I think Tex Winters was a major brain behind that operation that gets sadly overlooked. But
all right. Well,
and I would love to have
us a blue chipper.
And I would love to have Elijah Freeman. I just don't think that one's going to happen. But then again, as of last night, when I heard Lamar Wilkerson was not coming back, Jeez. Hey, Michael, I know you want to cuss and be generally an asshole, but why don't you stop making comments because you make yourself look really stupid.
He's got a one-track mind.
Yeah,
we're off that. I mean,
and I'm sorry. You know what? When I look back at Robert Montgomery night, I know a lot of that stuff was wrong, and we all were cool with it because we won. And when we stopped winning, that's when they got rid of it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I brought up Dockage. Really, I don't have a problem with Dan. I don't really have an issue with Dan. I just
I don't really
care
about
him.
I mean,
I just like joking about him.
Yeah.
He, never said the word about us, so we're not on his radar screen.
Yeah, we don't want to be, so we're fine.
And I don't listen to Dan regularly, so
no. All right, Steve. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No. What anybody else we're itching for right now? So we think we got 5 to 7 players committed.
Yeah, you've got guys like the guard out of Evansville, Comer. Was it Tayshawn Comer? He's a dude that I know the IU staff has spoken with. And, of course, he's from Indiana, so that's a place you could go. The Freeman kid's really good. There's another one that I've seen. It was reported that Indiana is one of several schools to express interest in Eddie Lampkin, who is from Syracuse. He needs a waiver to play next season also, but he's a 6'11" center. Very good defensive player, very good rebounder, played like 30 minutes a game. but it's kind of like the Bruzovic guy where you don't really know if he's going to be available or not by the time it's done. And I think that's another reason why you kind of got to play this out and you got to kind of take your time, because you don't really know if some of these guys are going to be there or not, if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
And the guy who I would really like to get is the Grand Canyon big man. I think his name is Brennan, and he was one of the top rebounders in the country last year. He only has 1 year left too. I know he recently visited Stanford, but I mean, those are the guys that I would look at right now. I mean, I still look for them to go for a couple more guards. They're going to have to. And I like the kid from DePaul, Connor Enright, but doesn't mean you can't try to find somebody who might be a little bit better that starts. So, all right, we got more here. Here, look at this. Look at this. This guy's an idiot. Yeah, I do. You guys are trash. That's why you have 100 people watching in an hour after IU get their biggest report. Well, you know what? This is the thing. We are only sharing this on one platform. We're on 300 platforms. And last month we had over 100,000 views.
Well,
so,
yeah, you know what's amazing to me, and I really don't want to talk about Michael Bradley anymore. I'm done with it.
Yeah,
but it's kind of amazing of the 100 people we got. Michael seems to be one of them.
I know.
And I know. What's that tell you
constantly.
right there?
I know.
Oh, gee, Michael. whatever. Robert, how about the earthquake? I'm far enough north. I did not feel it, but it did jolt the southern part down around San Diego and south. And I'll tell you what, for IndyCar racing, which is not really in the fold that much anymore, Long Beach is a savior for them. That place was sold out. It was packed. It was apparently, I didn't go near it. But everybody that went down there had a good time. Hard to get tickets. Wonderful event for the city. Weather was perfect for it. We got Coachella going on too, which is a mess. Coachella's just gotten too big
for them to handle. Anyways, like the rest of California.
What?
I said it's just a big old cesspool of liberals.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders was there campaigning.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Michael, by the way, we don't do a show every day. We do one about once a week, sometimes 2 a week. All right. So once again, you're still watching, you clown. You know what? I mean, we get enough viewers that we could just block him if we wanted to, because he's a dumbass. But there you go. Hey, tell Uncle Dan everything will be all right. Go ahead, Steve.
No, that's okay.
All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap the show up. And thanks for all the wonderful comments, especially from Michael Bradley. Oh, wait, hypocrites, no politics. Wait a second. No politics on sports shows. This is the thing. Dan Dockich only does politics. That's it. He doesn't talk Indiana basketball hardly at all, except to trash it. And Michael, so you'll understand this. You could just go, I was going to say fuck yourself, but I'm not going to. But you could do that. All right. Andrew.
Michael, I'm hoping to get a Christmas card from you. Please send me one.
So I don't think he would know how to mail an envelope. So glad we got Lamar Wilkerson. Hoping to floodgate now. I hope it's good news. Is there 1,000+ players in the portal?
Yeah. There's still a lot of getting to get.
Jay Diesel, hate me, love me. You still watched. So, and Michael is now calling us a liar. Michael has been on this show for the entire show. We want to thank you, Michael, because that gives us more numbers. Now, maybe you can go masturbate to the Dan Dockich show. All right, Steve, anything else?
Let me see. Did no, I was trying to get any good TV out there. No, Long Beach Grand Prix was good. Coachella's good. California's having a good week. Then we'll probably burn something to the ground again next week.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead.
Hey, believe it or not, they announced that Dodger Stadium was going to host the Olympics baseball in 2028. Okay. Where the hell else would you go for Dodger baseball, for Olympics baseball?
Andrew Sorry says he loves it, obviously. Yes, he does. He's an attention whore. He had daddy issues, and he probably sleeps with any man that asks. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap the show up. You can follow Steve Risley at S Risley 34 on Twitter or X.
Hey,
But
well, I think Michael doesn't like you. I think
that's
he's okay
fine.
with me.
You were the one that started
You're
off
the one
talking
that made
about
the comment
dockage.
about mailing an envelope,
You made the dockage.
but he had to give you information for your
What
show.
information did he have to give for the show?
Now, see, every time you get mad at me, you claim that it's your show. So I think Michael's pissed at you, not me.
I don't really care. Michael was the one that was mad because somebody said something bad about his daddy, Dan Dockage.
Okay.
But it's all right because
All right.
that's the way it is. All right, guys.
Hey, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for jumping on at short notice. We only wanted to pop on because we got a big one.
This is the thing, Michael. We could have you on the show as a guest sometime if you want. But hey, we're not that desperate. So I'm
going to be on vacation that day.
Oh, hell, Michael. Elijah who? Nobody said Elijah who. I asked which Freeman. I'll look at him. He's still going. Damn, man. Living in your mom's basement gives you a lot of free time. But you can follow me on X at Grueling Truth. Hey, look, he's made himself a popular thing on the show, even though he claims nobody watches it. But you can follow me on X at Grueling Truth. You can like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube. Make sure you check out the GruelingTruth.com website and follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. All right, guys.
I think we'll be back with Susie or somebody else coming on.
We're going to finish this. Michael Bradley said, this would make me less intelligent. No, thanks. Michael, I would like to tell you this from everybody here at the Indiana Hoosier Weekly Show. Nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, could make you less intelligent. All right, guys, for Steve Risley, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth